I've been looking at the supply chain maps recently for the beauty and wellness industry, and it's actually amazing how much we obsess over the brand name on the bottle, but we completely ignore the engine room.
Yeah, the invisible infrastructure. We see the marketing,
Yeah,
but the actual efficacy comes from much further back in the process.
exactly. I mean, I'm talking about the companies that actually make the raw materials inside. So today we're doing a deep dive into Sevoa Ltd.
Sevoa, right?
Yeah.
They are a really fascinating case.
They are because they position themselves as a trusted European manufacturer for the big players. Cosmetics, food supplements, functional food.
Right, they aren't selling to you and me directly. They're powering the brands that we all buy.
Yeah.
And that European manufacturer tag is, it's quite significant.
How so? As an analyst, I see labels all the time, but what does that actually mean for the supply chain?
Well, it implies a very strict regulatory standard right out of the gate. But what really stands out when you look at their operation from a manufacturing perspective is how they handle extraction.
Right, because it's not just about crushing plants.
No, not at all. It's about
Yeah.
preserving the active compounds.
Let's unpack that a bit because their catalog reads like a technical manual for high-end botany.
It really does.
They break it down into oils, waters, and powders. But looking at the oils, they make this really sharp distinction between cold-pressed infused
Yeah.
and essential oils.
Which is critical. I mean, cold pressing is great for keeping the nutrient profile of a seed completely intact. Think of your fatty acids.
Right.
But they also specialize in macerated oils. That is where you steep herbs in a carrier oil to extract specific lipid-soluble properties.
So it's a much more deliberate, time-intensive process than just squeezing a seed.
Yeah.
It's almost like the difference between a juicer and a slow cooker. You're pulling out totally different things.
Precisely. And for a formulator that changes the texture, the shelf life, and of course the therapeutic value of the final cream or serum.
Wow, okay. Then you move to the second pillar they have, which is herbal waters. Now, as an industry analyst, I usually see these dismissed as byproducts, just smelly water. But Sevoa seems to treat them as a core active ingredient.
Because in a high-quality formulation they are. They refer to floral, herbal, and fruit waters.
Okay.
In the industry, we call this the aqueous phase. Most lotions are maybe 70% water.
Yeah, easily 70%.
Right, so if you replace inert water with a bioactive herbal water, you've instantly upgraded the product from a simple moisturizer to a functional treatment.
That makes total sense. And then the third category is NutriPowders. This feels like their bridge into the food sector.
It is. These are nutrient-rich herbal powders. It really taps into that beauty from within concept.
Like nutraceuticals and functional foods, right?
Exactly. It shows they understand that modern wellness isn't just topical anymore, it's ingestible.
But here is where the business model gets really interesting to me. They aren't just a raw material supermarket. They offer OEM services.
Original equipment manufacturing.
Yes, right. That is a game changer for brands. Because if I'm, say, an influencer starting a skincare line, I don't have a factory. I don't know how to macerate St. John's wort.
Exactly. Sevoa steps in and says, we have the technology, the extraction methods, and the sourcing.
They can just manufacture the custom products for the brand.
Yes, it allows a brand to scale without having to build a massive laboratory. It's essentially renting their expertise and their machinery.
It's the infrastructure as a service model, but for botanicals.
That is a great way to put it.
Now I want to touch on their philosophy. Reading through their corporate materials, they really hammer home this attention to details and transparency. In a global market where supply chains are incredibly messy, why is that their main selling point?
Because the biggest risk for a professional brand is adulteration.
Right, fake ingredients.
Exactly. If your pure oil turns out to be cut with something cheap, your brand is dead. Sevoa uses their European base and their transparency as a risk mitigation strategy.
So they're telling their clients, we know exactly where this came from and we made it ourselves.
Right. And there's another layer to that responsibility. I noticed a disclaimer they put on everything, which is for educational purposes only.
I saw that too. They explicitly state they aren't diagnosing or treating diseases.
That is the mark of a mature manufacturer. They are staying in their lane. They are experts in botany and extraction, not medicine.
Which probably builds more trust with their professional clients, right?
Right.
The ones who have to navigate those strict regulations.
Absolutely. By not overpromising on medical cures, they provide a safe foundation. They provide the ingredients, not the medical advice.
It's a refreshing lack of hype in an industry that usually loves hype.
It is. It's grounded in the reality of the material.
So bringing this all together, we have this European powerhouse sitting invisibly behind the scenes, ensuring that the oil, water, and powder in our products are actually what they say they are.
It really highlights that the quality of your daily routine, whether it's a face oil or a supplement, is decided long before the label is printed.
It's decided in the extraction room.
Exactly.
Right. That is the real takeaway. So next time you pick up that natural serum or supplement, ask yourself how much of the value is defined by the brand name on the front, and how much is defined by the transparency of the raw material manufacturer hidden behind it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.